Our first goal in this lesson, of course, is to make a frame set. Now remember what a frame set is. That's the construction, the building that's going to house our furniture being the web pages. So we want to make sure that we make the building right so the furniture fits, if you want to look at it that way. Plan ahead. If you remember the beginning of this lesson series in Chapter 1, what we talked about a lot was planning. Good planning is very important in the construction of a website. And when you're doing a frame set, you want to make sure that the furniture fits the building. Makes sense, doesn't it? So plan. Let's start up here. File New. In File New, you have a button for Page from Sample. If you click that, you have a button over here for Frame Set, and you have all these lovely frames that we're not going to use. Once you master how to make these things, you can come here every day for all I care. I use them all the time. But if we use somebody else's template, you're never going to figure out how this whole thing is put together. So we are not using templates. We're going from scratch. Sorry about that. Come up here to the word blank page. HTML, none, create. This is not a frame set yet, but it's about to be. Make sure that you are in the classic workspace. All right, that's easy. And make sure you have the layout tab selected up here. Go way over here to this button. This button is for frame sets, and click the down arrow to the right of the button. Make sure you click that arrow. Predefine frames to convert this document into a frame set. We're going classic left frame, right frame. By that I mean navigation on the left, content on the right. If you look at studies, the most successful way to put navigation onto web pages is either at the top or on the left. And we're going left frame, right frame. So we're going to select this one right here. First thing it's going to ask us, do we want to rename the frames? These boxes right here will have names, and that is very important for us to load our pages. We'll leave that alone for now. Just go ahead and click OK. Now, as part of the planning process, I know that the navigation we're using contains graphics that are 191 pixels wide, which means this area over here has to be at least that big. But I'd like to do, I would call it some breathing room, and I'm going to make them about 210. If we click right on that line, see the double arrow? Now, you can drag it if you want to, but if you want to be precise, you come down here because our properties panel is now changed for that particular item, and we're going to change the column to 210. All right, so that's big enough. Let's control what's going on in those frames. Dreamweaver thinks that we want to create our pages right now. So there are actually blank documents here and here. Go into the one on the left and type in frame, navigation. Click on the right and type in frame, content. Come back to the left one and click it, go up to the word file, and you will notice it says save frame. We're going to call this, let's call it frame, makes sense, navigation. Click save. As you can see, that is simply a blank HTML document with the words frame navigation. Select in here. You're now in frame content. Do the same thing. It's a separate web page. Save frame. Call this one frame content. Click save. But you know what? We haven't saved the frame set yet. We're just making web pages. How do we save the frame set? Sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to get the frame set than you might think, so we're going to get a little help here. This is not part of the classic set, so I want you to go up to the word window and go down to frames. There are the two frames that we have, left and right. Number one, I don't like left frame, main frame. I want to change those names. So select left frame here, go down to your properties panel, and there it is, frame name. Let's change that to navigation. Makes sense. Click mainframe and change mainframe to content. That's what it is, or it's what it's going to be. All right. Now that we've got that done, we are on the frame set now. Once you go up to the word file on the pull down menu and go down to save frame set, we will call it main frame set. Makes sense, I suppose. Click save. All right, do this. I want you to close this document. You can do it from up here, you can do it from over here, you can use the shortcut, whatever. So we have everything closed. What I want to show you next is how this is all working. So reopen the two HTML documents that we just made, not the frame set. That would be frame content and frame navigation. I'm going to shift select both and double click to open them both at the same time. What I'm trying to do here is give you a visualization on what the heck just happened. So do this. Go up to on frame navigation, whichever one you have open, go to modify and go into page properties and just choose a different background color. I don't care what it is. Have fun. Click OK. Same thing with frame content. Go up to modify, page properties, and give it a background color. Click OK. Now save and close these two documents. That's all. Now reopen our frame set. Watch what happens. See? It's loaded those documents. That bluish and yellow area are simply our web pages. And the construction, the building, if you will, is the frame set that holds them. That's where we're going with this, and that's all we're going to do in this segment. Make sure you have everything saved, all right? Close it down after you've saved it. And in the next segment, we're going to stick some navigation over there on the left side.